I have with me the Yealink MP54. That's a Microsoft certified Teams phone. In this video, I'll show you what comes in the box, how to use it, how to set it up, and some settings that you'll want to change. In the end, I'll help you decide if this model, the MP54, is worth it, or if you should actually spend a little bit more and get the MP56. My name is Bogdan Shperny, founder of Apex One IT. I help optimize IT for busy business owners so they can focus on their bottom line. And all my content is free to you. All I ask is that you subscribe and smash the like button. All right, so the phone comes in the box just like this. So Yealink Smart Business Phone MP54. There's no seal here or anything like that. And this is just a quick start guide and we'll go over it. I'll have it linked in the description. Okay, so this is the phone itself. First thing we have the bracket here, the actual handset itself. This is the pretty nice premium feeling cable. And then we have the RJ45, so your Ethernet cable. That's what it looks like, has 8 contacts and it's about 6.5 feet long. And you'll notice there's no other power adapter here that would typically be plugged in here. And I'll show you why in a second. And there's also, you should know, an optional wall mounting bracket. So instead of a desk, you can get a wall mounted. Okay, first let's attach the bracket. You grab the actual telephone here and the bracket like this. And all you're going to do is place it in here. And then you just slide it to the right. There it is, just a friction fit. And so by default, this sits at about a 45-degree angle on your desk, but you can make it 53 degrees, so just a little bit more vertical by pulling these out. You do want to be a little bit gentle. I know sometimes these can break off right here. And in fact, this one popped off when I was opening it the first time. So probably a return. But anyways, when you sit it down like this, now it's just a little bit more vertical if that suits your needs. Then we grab this telephone cable. It's a tiny one, 4 contacts. It's a RJ9. And you'll notice on the back side, here's a little telephone. So for your handset, you'll plug it in just like that. If you need to pull it out, push down this tab to pull it out. Okay, and then you can tuck it in behind these tabs, just like that. Okay, and then the other side, you just plug it in to the handset. Same way. You should hear a click like that, and then your phone goes on here. Okay, and then on the back side, we still need to connect to the internet, right? And to power this on. Let's first take a look. I'll show you a diagram because there's multiple different ways that you can actually power this and give it internet data. All right, now to connect the actual RJ45, the Ethernet cable, right, from your internet, you get internet to the phone. Typically, you'll have one of these two situations. So this is maybe a microcomputer you have, okay, and I'm just showing the back of it here. And you might have something like this where this is that RJ45 port on your computer and it's connected to a wall jack here. Or you might have one, that has multiple ports, right, something like that. So if you have multiple ports, it's pretty easy. You just use this next one, you connect it straight to your Teams certified phone. Now, just to be a little bit more clear, if you have one jack like this, right, so you have a wall jack and before your PC was directly connected to it, what you need to do instead now is, as you see with this blue wire, you need to go to a PoE injector, which is what this is. Okay, and there should be also, this is just the back of it. It's powered to an outlet. And then you have this. So this goes to the internet port here, and then this is like a lightning port, PoE out, something like that. So out of that one goes another cable to the internet port on the back of our Teams phone here. Okay, and then from the PC port now, you use another RJ45 Ethernet cable, and that goes back to your computer. Now, I should say from the beginning that you might not need this PoE adapter if, you can connect directly from this wall outlet or from your internet switch from here to your phone, and if it powers on, that means that whatever's supplying this wall outlet already provides that PoE, that power over Ethernet. So you don't need the adapter. So you might as well try that first. If that doesn't work, you need a PoE adapter injector. That's what this is. And I'll have that linked for you for sure in the description. Okay, so for my example, I'm just going to go ahead and power this and give it data through a PoE switch. Okay, so it's going to take a couple minutes for it to boot up, so let it go ahead and do that. Okay, so within about a minute or two, you're going to get to this language settings screen. So this is touch screen, of course. Has this kind of animation you see when you reach the bottom or the top. So select your language like this. And then each time you need to confirm by hitting that top check mark. And you just want to click, right, it's telling you Microsoft Teams, you just want to click sign in. There's a gear icon. If you need some additional settings, you can go there. But you just want to click sign in. Okay, so you could go in here and type in your work email address and just sign in on this device. Typically, it's easier to go to sign in options and click sign in from another device. Okay, and this way, all you have to do is go to microsoft.com/device login, type in this code. You'll be logging on your computer now instead of here, or on your phone, something like that, on your smartphone, I mean. And then it'll be signed in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And if you need more help on this, I do have another video. I'll have a link on other sign-in options if you need that. And you'll see it says signing in once you've logged in through the web browser. All right, so we're signed in. Just click got it or tap. Okay, so a quick overview of some settings here. You'll notice right away I have a flashing red light right up top here. That's indicating that I got a voicemail right there, as you can see. So I can go ahead and tap there. So if I click on that voicemail, there's probably some kind of software update that needs to happen here, but it's actually not showing me. It should show me the transcript here. You can kind of tell there's letters there. But anyways, you can click play. You'll notice this lights up.
A test voicemail that I'm leaving.
Here's your volume.
And we're making a video right.
And you can pick up the handset like I just did, and now the sound's coming out from the handset. And let's play this voicemail again. So I can speed it up. You see that 2x right there?
Voicemail that I'm leaving, and we're making a video right now on the Yealink MP54.
Or half speed. And of course, I can delete that voicemail if I need to, or just go back. And let's see. So you see here, it actually gave me a notification of an event earlier that I had in here. So I can close the event, clear it, and now this shows my time, date, kind of in full screen mode. If I go to calls, I don't have any speed dials here, but if you did, that's where it would be. Okay, so this was the call right here that I just had recently. And if I had a contact card, I can click on that. That would bring me to the contact card. Or I could add them to contacts if I didn't do that already. Now, with this small screen, it's kind of not usable. I wouldn't necessarily do that here. Again, you have all of this and more on your actual Teams app, either on your smartphone or on your desktop computer. But just showing you what you can view here. You can always place a call by tapping this right here. You can search, and I can search here for someone if I need to and just call them directly from here, or tap them first, add more people, and call. Again, if I pick up the handset, it's going to transfer to the handset. I can mute myself here, or as you saw right there, if I had a headset plugged in, I can transfer it there, or we can end the call. All right, so I just placed a call. As you can see, it's ringing everywhere. So this is showing me my auto attendant, by the way, called Apex Phone. So I can answer it here. I can pick up the handset. If I click on this three-dot menu, I can put the call on hold. If I put the handset down, it's actually going to end the call. So we don't want to do that. Let's click resume first. And let's change to our speakerphone. So now we're on speaker. Let me turn the sound off. Okay, so we're muted. You can also click this to mute as well. If I need to dial from here for whatever reason, I can do that here. I can click this three-dot menu again to transfer a call. Okay, so the other person is hearing like this on hold kind of sound. And I can transfer now or talk to someone first. That's what the consult first means. So if I go transfer now, I can search the directory like Marion here, ask him, or go back. And if I go back to I hit the Teams button, you'll see there's a call on hold here. So I can still use this device while in a call. So I can transfer there, resume the call. And even if I click here, and I'm on the call, maybe I need to see my contacts or calendar, I can do that while on the call. And I can go back to it here. And I can also add others to the call here, clicking that plus sign. So this shows me right? This is me here that's signed in on this device. That's me, Bogdan. And then the call that came in, that's that 916 phone number. And I can click this button down here or tap it to add more other participants to this call. Then I can hang up now by either clicking this or touching that red button there to hang up, or click the speaker sign and the call has ended. And you can also click this Teams button to kind of go to the home screen, which is this right here. People is just your contacts, so similar. I don't have anything here, but I can add contacts. Okay, and then I can go to the calendar, for example, and it'll show you everything that you have in Outlook synced here. So right now, this time is actually way off. It is not 8:31 a.m., I just realized. So we'll have to go, looks like it's not pulling the correct time, but I'll show you where to change that. You can add new calendar events here if you need to, but again, it's kind of, you don't really want to work on this tiny display. So you can even edit events here, as you can see, cancel it. And you can quickly start a video call. Well, in your case, it wouldn't be video here with this device, but if I want to, I can start a new meeting right here. Okay, and a couple quick settings here. So if you click on your picture here, it'll show you your status. So right now I'm busy because I have something in my calendar. I do not have a computer connected, but it would show me if I had anything connected. Hot desk is if you want to share this device and have someone else temporarily sign in. You can click on hot desk and that's what pops up. Let's go back. And you can click on your status and change that if you need to. Reset it. You can even add a message here. But again, this keyboard is kind of small. I mean, it's sort of like your smartphone one, but it's not as well built. Okay, now the other settings I'd like to change this time. So again, we go here and then into settings. So we do have a dark theme here, and this manage delegates, all this stuff, it's all also available in the Teams app, so I won't go into all of that. Notifications, that's all fine. Let's go to device settings. So this is kind of settings for this MP54. So language, we had that, so date and time right here. So yes, this time is way off. Okay, so on Pacific time here, I select it, click OK. Day format is fine. Time format, you can change that as well. Okay, so there's some display settings here, like the backlight. You should see that change. You might see this kind of hash thing going on the actual video, but that's, in reality, it's not like that. This display is actually pretty sharp. It's actually the same resolution as their larger displays, which are about twice the size, 7-inch. This is a 4-inch, but the resolution is the same, so you're actually getting good pixel density. So there's a screensaver here that turns on 30 minutes, which is default. You can change this, and I'll show you more advanced settings. You can enable a phone lock here if you wanted to, lock this device within a certain amount of time and have to put in a code. So again, there's no Bluetooth or Wi-Fi in this device, but if you had a module, you can enable that here and connect to Wi-Fi. You can change how this rings from your speaker to just a handset, or if you had other devices connected here as well. And then finally, there's also admin only settings, and the password for that by default is admin, which if you're an admin, you should really go in there and change that. And these are the kind of 5 other settings here that you can change. So things in network, you can also change the password right here. You can do that through Teams as well. Now, before we get into super other advanced settings, I just want to show you how to get your IP address. If you click on About, right, you can get all the info on the device. So your IP address, that's this one right on top, IPv4. And that'll be useful to know if you want to go into the web browser kind of settings of this device. And kind of all the other info right here. Okay, so let's click the Teams button. So now we have the correct time. Okay, so now let me show you the settings features that are available in the admin center. So you can go straight to admin.teams.microsoft.com or just admin.microsoft.com and then find the Teams admin center. And then here, so first it goes to dashboard. We want to go to Teams devices and then to phones. Okay, so we have this phone right here that I just signed into, gives me my device name, which I can change, shows you who's signed in, right, manufacturer, things like that, health status, model, IP address can be found here as well. Okay, if there are any configuration profiles, which I'll show you, this kind of another way to adjust the settings. And you can export that. So if you go here, you can click edit, and that's where you can change the device name, for example. So maybe just let's do this. Click apply. Okay, and then we can see things like health status. So this is telling us, well, we can just click on it. So all it is that there's new firmware as expected. This looks to be pretty old, came out in 2022. So we definitely want to update that. And if there were any other issues, it will show you that as well. But let me just close that for now. And right here, so automatic updates, these are kind of different configurations for how you want to get updates. And if you go here, you can, if you want to be sure, by default is general, like it should work. But if you have something critical and you really don't want to mess around with maybe some bugs, you can select final versions as well. Sorry, and then here in manual updates, you can schedule an update here as well. Now, as you saw here, configuration profile, we actually don't have anything set up here, and there's none set up. So let's just go ahead and click add. Okay, we do maybe default. Okay, and essentially these are just some additional settings that you can set here that you can later, if you have multiple of these devices, you can later go in instead of signing into each physical device into the settings there. You can just do that all from here and assign them these configuration files to all the phones that you need to. So for example, device lock. Okay, do I want a pin on the actual physical desk phones? So maybe after, 1 hour, this locks out and you could, put your own pin in here to unlock the device. Okay, it needs to be a 6-digit pin, but you can set when it locks out. So this is maybe useful for a common area phone. If you just don't want, maybe it's in a lobby, you don't want like random people to come up, only people who are actually your employees to sign in. Right, in that case, I'll probably do like 30 seconds so someone can come up, type in the pin, and get into the phone. Otherwise, we're going to leave that off. So we can set language, our time zone, day format, time format. And this is the important part that you saw earlier when we looked at scheduling updates. So we do want our maintenance window, and this is in 24-hour. So from 1 to 4 a.m., yep, that's a good maintenance window. And I like to do Saturday, not Sunday, so that there's time to fix mistakes, if anything. And then some of these settings are only for shared devices. So advanced calling, you can turn on hotline, meaning when you pick up the actual headset, it automatically call someone. Looks like we need an update for that. And then some other settings, like we saw this already, the backlight, for example. How long, we don't need a screensaver really. We don't want a screensaver at all. Backlight timeout if we need that. Okay, high contrast silence mode. And then a whole bunch of advanced network settings if you need to do that. Okay, I won't get into that here. Okay, well, this is important. Okay, if you're actually going in here, you do want to, two things. You do want to enable the PC port, okay, that's on the back of the device, and you do want to change the admin password, which by default was admin. And then make sure, you don't change these other settings unless you really know what you're doing. DHCP enabled, that should remain on. So let's save that. So we can go here to configuration profiles and assign to multiple devices or just all phones. Select the phones you want and then click assign configuration. And you need to search for it. We call it defaults. And some other things, you can reboot, restart the device here if you need to. You can also update it. Same thing as clicking here to updates. So, and if you actually want to force it, like as soon as possible, let's go do manual. You can go ahead and schedule it basically as soon as the next available window. So for me, you want to make sure you select your time zone correctly, select your time, and select what you're updating, which is firmware in this case, and click updates. So I scheduled it within the next 30 minutes actually. All right, now the actual most advanced features you can get or settings is access by using the IP address of the device. So I showed you earlier how to get that on the physical phone itself, but if you recall, it's also right here in the Teams Admin Center. All right, so we go to the address bar and we just type in the IP address. All right, and the default is admin, which yes, you should change as soon as you can. Okay, so as you can see, there's a bunch of settings here that you can go through, and I'll just point out to you what stands out. So this first status page just kind of gives you an overview. Some important things like VLAN ID you can assign as well in the settings here under network. But things like firmware version also appear here. So it still has the old one, right? We queued an update, but that did not happen yet. So it's going to be at least 30 more minutes. So you can set up Wi-Fi here if you need to. For this device, you actually need a USB kind of dongle to enable Wi-Fi. Under network, we have some basic settings here. What you do not want to do by accident is set a static IP, unless, again, you know what you're doing here. Make sure it's DHCP. I mean, you wouldn't be able to access this if you already changed it. So the PC ports, you can leave all that. Then in advanced, this is where you can change your VLAN ID if you need to. More Wi-Fi settings here. So under features, see, it also has the phone lock here. But again, as you know, some of these things repeat. Bluetooth, what the power LED at the top of the phone does, right? So for example, right now it flashes when there's like a missed call, which we saw in the beginning of this video. So you can enable, disable these things here as well. Under settings, there's some preferences you can set here. Again, backlight, as you know, some of these things repeat. So screensaver, this is where you can also add custom screensaver. So this is, you know, if you're actually going to use this feature, you can actually set custom screensavers. Maybe we don't want it to turn on that fast, but let's say, so these are the system ones that they has here, different ones to look at, or you can do custom and you upload your file here, and then you'll have options to choose that file. Upgrade, where you can manually update the firmware if maybe it's so old that you can't see in the Teams admin center. Provisioning, configuration. Now the main question is, should you get this MP54, MSRP 209, or should you spend a little bit more, about $60 more, and get the MP56? So I already done a full review on the MP56. I'll link it here. But as you see here, the obvious standout is the 7-inch touchscreen here versus the 4-inch over here. The 7-inch will have everything and more, right? Obviously, you can fit more things on there. It also has some dedicated buttons for on hold and transferring right there, which the MP54 does not. The MP56 has Wi-Fi, and you can read it here as well. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in, and the 54 does not, which means if you want to add that, you can. You just need a USB dongle. So it can support only one USB dongle, and it's either you're going to get the Bluetooth one to add like a headset. Okay, that's the BT41, that's the model, so you're looking at $32, or, right, not both, you can only use one dongle, or you add the Wi-Fi USB adapter, and that's about $40. So yes, it would be cheaper to get the dongle typically. Sometimes I'll leave you the best prices for the MP54 in the description. You can get it for less than $209. Same with the MP56. So if you need both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, well, you need the 56, all right? But if you're okay with neither of those, the reason why you will get the Wi-Fi is if you can't get that Ethernet cable to your phone for whatever reason, then you will need to connect to internet via Wi-Fi. But then again, you now also need a power adapter, that 5 volt, 2 amp power adapter to plug in, because you won't get power over Ethernet now. Okay, so just some things to consider. And the very last thing here is that with the MP54, it does not support the expansion module, which is this right here. And what the expansion module allows you to do is have, as you see here, kind of bundles together with another desk phone, is you can have these speed dials, shortcuts. So this is very good if you have an actual kind of busy call center or something like that, because per page, and there's 3 pages here, per page you can have up to 20 contacts just right there on speed dial for easy transfers. Okay, so if you want to use this, you have to get the 56 at minimum. 54 does not support that. Okay, so to summarize, you will get the 54 if you don't need both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, if you don't need the 7-inch touchscreen, and if you don't need this expansion module. Hit the like button and subscribe if you learned something new. And of course, I'll have all the products, things we talked about, manuals linked in the video description down below. And if you have any questions, go ahead and comment in the comment section below, or reach out using my social links in the video description. Thanks for watching. Take care.